The Washington Spirit return home after a 10-plus day road trip. They host Angel City FC. It was an electrifying first half, highlighted by Trinity Rodman scoring 2 goals for the Spirit. In the second half defensively, the Spirit managed to hold Angel City in their own end as the second half was scoreless. Stay tuned to the Kirby on Sports podcast for full post-game coverage from the Spirit's 4-2 victory over Angel City FC, as you will hear from interim head coach Adrián González, along with Trinity Rodman and so much more.
That was a little bit of a crazy one.
Yeah.
How was it kind of working through the wild, especially the first half, the wild swings of the entire game?
I mean, I feel like that's the NWSL for you. Like, there's so many games that are like that. I was happy that we were able to come back, though. I mean, you know, we were down 2-1 for a little bit there after scoring first, so it was great to see the team, like, turn it around and bump up the energy a little bit.
Did it boil down to energy, or was it something that also had to change in the middle? I mean, there were also a lot of stoppages. There were moments when you could shift some things around.
Yeah, I mean, I think just conceding 2 goals after you score one so early on just kind of lights a fire under your butt, and I feel like that's when we were like, okay, we need to lock in and get back what we just gained. So, yeah, it was the turning point for us, really.
So that was kind of a, I mean, even by NWSL standards, kind of a crazy first half. How was it trying to play your way through it, and obviously, coming through with the 4 goals in the end?
I mean, unfortunately, unfortunate thing is we're kind of used to getting scored on early, which isn't really good. So like we know we can bounce back. But yeah, after the goal goes in, just focus on what's next. It already happened, so let's do what we can focus on and get our goals in.
It seemed like today, you and Ouleye, while she was in the game, it seemed like you were really able to sort of interchange positions and cause Angel City a lot of positional issues as to who to follow and who to stay with. Obviously, that led to a lot of goals, but how has it been sort of generating those moments where it's easy for you to then like get on the same wavelength and not have to like kind of force it?
Right. A lot of practice, but also just reading the game, reading what they're giving us and what's open. Beforehand, of course, we kind of scout, so we knew that they follow players. So if she's going, they're spacing behind, or vice versa, and just reading off each other. The 9 and the 10, it's very much the same position, but a little bit of different roles. So we're getting a lot fluid.
To build off of that, can you tell us what you saw in that when you assisted her on her goal? What you saw in that moment when Angel City was collapsing in on you, and you kind of played it in front of her to the space that she was going. But like, when did you know she was getting there? What did you see in that play?
My first thought was just run. When I got the ball in the middle of the field, just run. And then as 2 and 3 players were kind of drawing in on me, I saw that there was a gap on my right side between the 2 players, and just slipped through. And she came in and tucked it away. Beautiful finish.
How big was it after coming off a 10-plus day road stretch to come back home, a hot, high-energy game, to come out and get the win tonight?
It was huge for us. We were 2 out of 3 on that road trip, which was big, and then to come back home and continue the winning streak, we really needed that. So I feel like coming out and performing at home, this was a big win for us.
Just like the game starts, score early, which is kind of what it sounds like. Adrián is one of the team to do, score early, and then of course the 2 goals happen from Angel City, so a big swing. And the response is kind of what went into like that mentality switch of like you're up, you're high, and then all of a sudden you're down, and then you're back on top.
Pretty much what you said. There's ups and downs in the game. It happens. You can be on the positive side or the negative side. It's really just how you're going to react. 2-1 is a tricky score in the game because 1 goal is tied up, but 2 goals then you're up. So for us, just getting that next goal to tie it and then continue from there.
On Trinity's second goal, you obviously slip a little bit. At what point were you just like, I need to get out of her way? Because it kind of like you were just like, I just need to get out of her way so she can get that shot off. Like, what's your vision from where you were at that point?
Seeing that she had my back and she was there picking the ball up, I'm like, oh shoot, like I don't want to get hit. I'm just gonna stay down. But yeah, she tucked it away, so just staying out of her way, and she had my back. So yes, ma'am.
It seemed like Angel City in the second half, they all couldn't get it in their zone. Is there sort of some defensively you changed to the second half, or what attributed to that?
Just realizing how we were pressing on defense or how we were sitting, just realizing what we were doing and then fixing it. Communication as well. They weren't able to really get past us in the second half, so we were doing our job.
So the first half was a little interesting, a little bit of a wild one. I'm sure on some level you were like, this is going out of control in a way that I would maybe prefer it not to be. What was it like trying to play through that as the game kind of took its dramatic swings back and forth?
That is a good question because it was very hectic and maybe like emotional in a way.
Yeah.
So I think we obviously wanted to improve on our like defensive side. So I think it was tough when we got that great early goal. We've been focusing a lot on early start. So I think we're feeling ourselves maybe a little bit too much. And obviously they're a very dangerous team in front of goal. So credit to them. But I think how quickly we were able to respond and get the third and then get the fourth, and how quick those came I think helped us kind of get back under control. But I think that's something we've talked about too, is like we can't let necessarily like the circumstances of the game dictate how we feel about the game. Like we have to be in control of that. So definitely we'll look at some clips and figure out ways that we could have gotten that a little bit more under control earlier, because I think, we can we're good in the transition, but we don't want it to be out of control. And I think it got a little bit out of control, but obviously we're able to get ahead and then, kind of have more control in the second half.
Was that something, like you mentioned, there's the emotional factor of it, taking that control back in the game, was that something that required any sort of adjustments tactically, or was it really just like an execution matter?
I would say it was more an execution and like slight adjustments rather than like big tactical changes. I think our spacing was a little bit vague, especially like from my role, and that like if you can see too much space, obviously like that just puts you in a bind and in a bind. And I thought they did a really good job like overloading the wide channels. I think we struggled with that, so took some time to figure that out. But mostly I would say it's just like being a little bit more aggressive in our step and our spacing.
And then also, what the first half was obviously chaotic. Second half, not so much.
Yeah.
Kind of the opposite. Was that by design? At halftime, was it just we're gonna manage this game, get to 90 minutes, get out of here?
Yeah, I mean, I think Adrián was like, you guys were up 4-2. Like, take a breath. And I needed to hear that, and I did take a breath. So I think, and then just being able to, he kind of said like we were like a little bit antsier than we needed to be at times, and we could have swung it more. So in the second half, just making sure having more opportunities to change the point and have longer attacks.
Just one for me, if you don't mind. Just a long road trip, 10 plus days, coming back home, getting the win. What was that like?
Huge. Obviously, it was a good road trip, but we were so grateful to be home and great to be back at Audi and with a great fan base, even on a rainier kind of day. So really fun environment. You could tell that the crowd was into it, which again, we feed off of and we love that. So good to be home and glad we get to be home again next week.
We have interim head coach Adrián González.
Adrián, congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Obviously, kind of a wild first half, lots of momentum swings, lots of mentality challenges probably for the group. How do you think they handled sort of seeing their way through a game that went so back and forth from a good start to beating twice to all of a sudden you're up 4-2?
Yeah, it's been a little bit crazy today, especially first half. I think we need to learn from these situations because when the game just starts being that crazy ups and downs, so we lose control, and I think we cannot play as we want, to be honest. And I think the game is like 50-50. But yeah, there were a lot of emotions today, so a lot of spaces, so we could, I think, to be a little bit more patient. But it's been hard, to be honest, first half. But I'm happy the way that we reacted, and also especially second half. I think we've seen a little bit what we wanted, playing in the half much more. I think we had also chance to score another one and maybe end the game. But yeah, happy with the performance. It's always important to compete, to keep winning, and today I think also we've seen different versions from the team, so competing in a different way again. Tough game, but happy with the performance.
Obviously, Trinity scored the 2 goals. It also looked like as the game wore on, you're having her without the ball, having to maybe stay home a little bit to help with Alyssa Thompson.
Yeah.
How do you think she did on that side of the game? Obviously, the goals are good, but the defensive side seems to be
Yeah, she's helping us also defending, and she knows that we need that from her, from every player. So it's not just about attacking, and especially in that side, Thompson was creating chances, and also we know that she's dangerous, and she was helping pullback, and yeah, happy also with that because we are demanding her to work also in that point, and I think she's doing good.
Jake?
Coach, kind of back to the first question. They scored 2 goals in the span of 3 minutes. So what did you see from the team after that and in the response to be able to get 3 goals back and take a lead? Is that something that's kind of different with this team that you've seen this season? The fact that when they get down and the chips look like they're not going their way and the momentum's not going their way, they find a way to bounce back,
Yeah.
especially in that first half, really quickly?
Yeah, I think it's not the first time, and we have that mentality and that mindset that to believe until the end, and also when we receive the goal, we concede maybe a chance, so we react and we have a good response. So yeah, again, happy with that because it's not easy, especially emotionally when you concede a goal. So the next 5 minutes are hard to be honest because you are a little bit confused. But I think the team also is doing good after we concede a goal and yeah, happy also how we are reacting. I would like to avoid that for sure, but also I think it's positive because we have that mindset that also it doesn't matter how the result is, that we keep fighting and we keep competing. So I think that's positive.
The team, Angel City, outpossessing you guys by nearly double. What can you say about the team being able to take advantage of maybe some of the minimal opportunities, not having the ball a lot? What can you say about that you guys were able to kind of take advantage of such small opportunities and scoring on them, 4 out of 7 on the shots on goal?
Yeah. Well, maybe other games we created more chances and maybe we score less goals, and today maybe less chances and more goals. So I think that's also positive. So for me, the key here is like every game we are creating chances, and I think that's really positive. And scoring 4 goals, it's not easy. We did it in Chicago and today again with our fans. And yeah, it's good also to see that we can have different ways to create chances and to score goals. Not just one player, different players are scoring or creating chances, and I think that's also positive as a team that we can combine, we can create danger in a different ways. So happy also with that. Sí. Yeah, about injuries. It's part of the game. So yeah, we are coming from a hard trip, 3 games in a row in 12 days. So we knew that that would be difficult. Actually, last week we've been recovering until last day because it's hard, especially when you have to travel. East Coast, West Coast, so playing those games, and also especially Louisville was so hard. That game, ups and downs, a lot of transitions. The field was also the grass a little bit difficult to play, and it was high intensity. So yeah, trying to recover and yeah, we have 22 players that are available. So if one player gets injured, so we have to try to find another one. So that's why we are training and we are preparing the team. It doesn't matter who plays, that we know what we have to do, and we can have different options also with players.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Just a quick question. Obviously, coming off a 10-plus day road trip, how huge was it to get back home and perform the way you did? Obviously, up and down, but in the end, getting the 4-2 victory. And what was it doing it in front of your home fans?
It was amazing. So I want to say thank you again to the fans because especially today was difficult with the weather, with the raining. They came, they are supporting us every game here. So we feel that and we need them. I think here in our stadium we are competing very good. And the message this week was that yeah, after 3 games, so I think with good results. So today it was very important to have a good performance and also to win, because otherwise, what we did in those 3 games away, if you come here, if you don't perform good, and if you lose the game, so it would be tough to be honest. So today was very important to make another step forward and try to compete again good in front of our people. And so happy because I think today also for the fans, it's been a great game. A little bit crazy sometimes, but also with a lot of goals and also with good soccer.
And in the second half, more, I saw you were holding Angel City FC defensively so they couldn't advance up in their zone. Can you just take me through what you saw in that second half defensively from the Spirit?
Well, we knew that sometimes we we need to drop a little bit. We need to defend maybe in a low block, try to be more compact, reducing space, especially in the middle. And yeah, sometimes we have to do that because also the opponents are doing good. They also know how to attack, and sometimes we need to know how to be there and how to defend those situations, especially in our box set pieces also. And yeah, I think the team also now is starting like feeling like also that's another way to compete, and we can do that also. It's very difficult to have the ball 90 minutes and play in the half 90 minutes. Sometimes we need to know how to defend in our half, and I think also we are making steps forward in those situations. So happy because we are seeing that we know already we have to do with ball and also without ball. So that's positive.
Two quick ones for me, Coach. The first one, Croy is obviously very dangerous with the ball, whether it's combining with Trinity today with Sarr. She can score them, she can contribute. We saw her take on 3 Angel City defenders today. What would you say is the most dangerous aspect of her game?
Great, choose one.
Top 5.
Well, top five. That's a tough question. Um, I think she understands pretty good what is happening in every game situation, in every moment. So she has that intelligence to identify where is the space, where is the advantage, which player is in a good position to receive. Uh, she's so clever, and she has also that talent, that patience to maybe make that pass the right time. She doesn't get anxious to maybe to pass very very quick, and also I think she makes our teammates better. So she's a player that if you are around her, you know that something is gonna happen, and she's really talented, but also she's helping the team to improve, and also the players who are around her. So I would say that.
And then for you, obviously playing injured, how did you have to adjust your coaching style? I saw you had to sit down a couple of different times.
Yeah, but I don't know how to be sit down, so it's been the same. So, yeah, no problem, the same. So I have a voice and 2 arms, 2 legs still, so no problem. So it's the same. Yeah, a little bit nervous because sometimes I wanted to move more, but yeah, it's okay. I'm fine, thank you.
Just wanted to follow up on that.
I just got injured the other day during the training session.
Okay.
Yeah, I hurt my leg.
All right. And wanted to ask about the game halftime in particular. After such an intense half where 6 goals happened, you had the lead, lost the lead, regained the lead, and all of that. What was kind of your message at halftime? The team coming in, obviously, probably very, very like intense and at a high level. What was your message to kind of get them to kind of manage the second half?
Yeah. Again, I mean, I think the key today was to recognize that maybe even though we've seen 6 goals and first half maybe was a little bit crazy or we didn't have the control, we were winning and we could score 4 goals. So that's positive. So we tried to transmit calm, especially like we needed to have more control, especially with ball, because sometimes my feeling was that we weren't pressed and we wanted to progress very fast. And again, we lost the ball because of that. So try to transmit that we were doing good, but especially when we are more patient, when we move them a little bit more from one side to the other side, we have longer attacks. I think the team also, slow down a little bit that rhythm, and it helps us those situations. So trying to play in the half a little bit more, trying to have also good rest defense, controlling Thompson, Leroux, and those forwards, and try to also win second balls because we were trying to press high today, and we know that sometimes also they would have those long balls and trying to be strong with those second balls because we wanted to play in the half as much as possible.
I noticed that you mentioned Trinity Rodman staying back a little bit to help with Alyssa Thompson. We also saw the fullback swap sides. What was the thinking behind that with the defensive?
Yeah, because from that side we were seeing that Thompson was creating chances. They were creating numbers there in our right side, and yeah, in that Trin was helping us, but she was so deep, and also when we recovered the ball, she was so deep, so we couldn't have those situations with her. So that's why thinking about also Casey, her profile, she's pretty athletic, so we were thinking maybe to put her there because yeah, we thought that she could stop, sorry, much better maybe Thompson, and also it could allow us to have Trin a little bit higher if we recover the ball. So I think the team after that, yeah, we were more compact. Gabby was doing very good, but sometimes you need to move a little bit because of details, because of the profiles, and also Gabby can play left side. She is doing that with Canada. Casey can play also right side with the national team. Also, she plays there. So we have also that opportunity. So sometimes we can use that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Congrats on the
Congrats to you both on the win. Obviously, kind of at least the first half, kind of a wild one. From both of your perspectives, how was it to sort of navigate a game that had so many swings, stoppages for injuries, goals, etc.? Just a lot to take in. And Andy mentioned that at halftime was a message just to sort of calm down and breathe. You're up 4-2. But how was it to sort of navigate that and come out on top?
I think honestly, first half, I wouldn't even say there's like managing it. At the end of the day, I think it was just like a scrappy game, especially in the first half. And for us, I think it was just being the stronger and grittier team in those moments, like ending play, tackling, being dangerous in the attack. And I think we did a really good job in the first half.
Yeah, I think not every game is going to be the prettiest. Unfortunately, I would love for it to be, but I think it was great that we showed that side. And yeah, despite being scored a couple times, we fought back, and I thought we showed a lot of character as well.
Going over the course of the season, there have been a lot of early goals against. Obviously, today, Trinity, you had the early goal for the earliest goal in the game. That whole sequence, it seemed like that first 10 minutes you were kind of on top of the game. It seemed like you kind of immediately had a feel for what was going to work. What were you seeing out there that allowed you to get that goal, get the second goal, and just generally have a lot of success on the day?
Yeah, I think LA is a good team. They have really good players, and I think our plan or kind of what we wanted to expose was the staggered back line. I think their back line had a tendency to get attracted to players who were coming in the pocket and making runs in. And I think we all, from Casey coming up to Croy making runs from seam 2 to seam 3, Ouleye stretching them, we did a really good job at manipulating that and forcing them to kind of be confused. They didn't know who to step to and when to drop. And I think that was the biggest thing for us, is trying to manipulate them in those opportunities. And we did a really good job at that. And we had, I mean, open chances on goal in the 18. So, I mean, that's kind of picture perfect for us.
Hey guys, congrats on the win. Starting with Trinity, just in past years, it was an issue to finish games out. It felt like you guys it was draw after draw, tie after tie the last couple of years. You don't have a tie yet this year. I hope I don't jinx that, but just the resiliency for you guys to stay calm and fight back in a match that you guys were down 2-1 early and them scoring 2 goals in 3 minutes. Does it feel different? And what was kind of the conversations like when you guys go down 2-1 from an own goal and then a goal 3 minutes later?
I mean, yeah, that was just tough. We did exactly what we wanted to do. We scored early, and I think after that we were feeling good. And then, I mean, the Thompson sisters are just extremely fast, and we're kind of like all over the place. So I think that's kind of we kind of got overloaded in the wide areas, and it took us too long to figure out what the rotation was. Um, yeah, so for in this game specifically, I think it was more the downfall of us being passive in our defensive half. But yeah, I think when we get scored on and we're down, there's not even conversation. I think we're all kind of give each other that look of like, this feeling, let's just do it again. But I mean, yeah, we don't want this, and we don't want to get scored on. We want shutouts. So we're going to keep building, and obviously score as many goals as possible.
Just for both of you, the fight, the resiliency to come back in matches. You kind of look on your face like, oh, we went down again. Let's get back into this one. Is it just have a different feel with this team so far this season than maybe teams in the past, or or whatever? Just the fact that you guys are able to fight back in these scenarios and you feel comfortable when you're down almost.
I'm not comfortable, but I think we know that we can do it, and I wouldn't say I'm more confident with this team this year. I think we have a great roster, and in the past we've had really good rosters, but I think collectively as a team we're relying on each other a lot more, and I think leaning into working together and not trying to make individual magic happen and playing and making magic happen together. And I think our goals prove that. It starts from the back to the front, and almost everyone touches the ball in possession leading up to goals like that. So yeah, I would just say there's just a common understanding of we play for each other and we're gonna work hard for it. So
Ladies, congrats on the win. Collectively, first, I want to talk defensively. Obviously, the first half was back and forth, a lot of energy, but it seemed like in the second half, holding Angel City in their own zone. Can I just sort of get your thoughts on maybe what changed defensively, or if something changed? What was that mindset like?
I think halftime we just kind of like regrouped. We talked about a few overloads, how to solve it, and we took a breath. And I think all of those things worked, and we came out and we were solid defensively after that.
And just last but not least, obviously the 10 plus game road trip, 10 plus day, excuse me, road trip.
I'm like, no,
No, not 10 plus games. No, but coming back home, an electrifying win, obviously going down, but coming back and getting the victory. What was that like, just coming back, getting it in front of your home fans?
amazing. I think obviously on the road we wanted 9 points, but to get 6 is great. Being on the road is difficult, but I think we came together as a team and got closer, and that showed on the field today. And I mean, it's always amazing to be at the stadium. I think even from 2021 to now, since I've been here, the crowd has grown so much significantly. So yeah, having that support and having the rowdy Audi van is great.
Thank you.
Hi. What do you think is the key for winning the game today?
Good question.
That's a really good question. I think you kind of touched on it a little bit. It's just like realizing their tendencies with their back line and trying to capitalize on that. Long attacks, being smart, but also going when we can, and then just structurally defensively. So,
Yeah, I think mentality too.
yeah,
I think there's been some games where we've lost because of mentality and not being the aggressor. So I think today we're not losing a tackle, even if we have to foul and reset. I think we wanted to win every single ball, every first ball, second ball. We're in the box. We had numbers up. Like we were really pushing into them. So I think the mental piece was really there for us today, which was great.
Congrats on the win and the goals. I wanted to ask, start with you, Casey, and talk about defensively. It was a difficult job with the Thompson sisters, as you mentioned, but also noticed that you swapped flanks with Gabby Carl. Can you guys talk about both of your profiles and kind of what kind of
Yeah, I think we were. They were keeping us busy. I'll say on the flanks, and so that decision was made to put us both on the right side to just try and slow them down a little bit, hopefully, and be able to attack from the other side. And I think we kind of figured out the rotation a little bit as the second half went on.
Appreciate it. And Trinity, I wanted to ask basically just really about playing with Kruger. We talked to Adrián just a second ago. He was talking about how she kind of is really patient when she makes a final pass and she kind of makes players around her better. In terms of attack and how it's been kind of integrated with her as a new player in the team, how is the relationship with her and what do you kind of see in her game?
Yeah, she's great. I mean, you can't ask for a better rookie in the situation. She does so well, and I think the biggest thing, I don't like to use the word comfortable, but I think that's her game. She plays so comfortable. Like, I think when you're playing with somebody you just she radiates confidence and comfortability on the ball. It's like when you see that, it makes you more comfortable and it makes you more confident to then move off that. So I think, yeah, her inner confidence makes her such a great player, and she knows what decisions she's going to make before she even turns up. And yeah, defenders have a hard time with her, midfielders have a hard time with her, and I mean, we don't even know what she's going to do half the time, but it works out, and she's a playmaker. So yeah, so blessed to have her on our team for sure.
Casey, I wanted to ask a little about your goal. Kind of a chaos goal, obviously, coming after a bunch of other things happening. One, it seemed like maybe a pivotal moment. There was a lot of energy in the first half, but that celebration from the whole group seemed to be like kind of knowing maybe that you were on top of the game at that point. One, what did you see on the play at all? And then two, do you think that the team then like kind of captured that and took control of the game, or did it take getting to halftime and sort of bringing things down and getting a little under control that way?
Yeah, I think a lot of players were involved in that goal, so that made it really special. I think he specifically kept that ball alive, and so I saw that happening, and so I was like, all right, let's go. We're going. We're going to score this. This is not getting out of their box, and it was just such a great collective effort, and I think you could see that energy after. We were like, yeah, we got this. Like, we're not letting any more goals in. Like, we are good. So that was a big moment, I think, then before halftime.
Trinity, do you have any thoughts on Casey's celebration?
Well, I mean, I was like in the back and I thought it went in like 20 seconds before. So I was kind of standing there like this the whole time. and the ball's still being played. I'm like, oh, that's awkward. I was so happy for you, girl. Yeah, she works her butt off and I'm so like honored to play with her. And yeah, as a team, it's so awesome to have people from the front to the back scoring. I mean, I think that shows the versatility and the talent we have on this team, to know that it's not just the forward line creating, it's everybody. So, yeah, again, great moment in the game and great moment for her. So, yeah, awesome.
Thanks so much for tuning in to Kirby on Sports coverage of Washington Spirit soccer as the Spirit get the 4-2 victory over Angel City FC. Big thanks to all of our sponsors. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch you next time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. So long.